What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean, and today, reactions to the classics. We are up to the top 10 albums of 2012 draft. We have album drafts going all the way back to the year 1965, so be sure to check out our playlist, which will be linked in the description and at the end here to check out any years you're fancying. But we're moving on through at the time of this recording. This is a decade ago, so all these albums just came up on their 10-year anniversary. So looking forward to diving into this today.
Yeah, and if you don't know how it works, we go back and forth. So Trey's going to get first pick, I get second, third, he gets fourth and fifth, and so on. So some years that's an advantage to have first, some years it's not. Seems like every year it's an advantage to have first pick. You have it, Trey. It's an advantage this year because there's a clear number one album. But we need your help, guys. We need to know who you think won and what's your top 5, 10, or top couple albums, whatever you want to share in the comments below. And don't forget, if you're a patron, you get to vote on one of these albums for one of our listening parties. So if you're not a patron, check out the Patreon link below, the Patreon link on the end screen. We appreciate the help. So Trey, you got that aforementioned first pick, which is a huge thing this year. What do you got?
Oh, this was an easy one. This is a Desert Island disc from one of my favorite artists of all time. I listened to this in 2012. As soon as it dropped, I was really hyped. Got the signed copy. It is Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City.
I didn't remember you had the signed copy. That's right.
I did.
You got a T-shirt with it too?
Yeah.
I remember that now, but I didn't know who Kendrick Lamar was then.
Throwing me back, junior year of high school right here, man. His second release, and went to number 2 on the charts. Has never actually been to number 1, but it's also never left the charts ever since it came on. So it's I started thinking, I was like, this is in a way, I think, my generation's Dark Side of the Moon in a sense, because I mean, it just has that staying power. It's consistently still to this day one of the top 5 vinyl selling records. It really is like a movie in a sense, because it is a concept album where Kendrick details from his life growing up in Compton, California, in those experiences of a high schooler around that, navigating love and the death of his friends and drugs and peer pressure and trying to achieve his dreams. And I just think it's told in such a great way. Rolling Stone just came out with their top concept albums of all time, had this at number 1. It's got some of the best hits from Kendrick on here. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Money Trees, Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst, one of Kendrick's, if not his best song. The storytelling on here is fantastic, and man, I could rave about this record all day, but we have a full track-by-track review we did a couple of years back on it if you want to check out more. So that is my clear number 1 right here.
And it's so well thought of. It made the banner back here. You got to be really well thought of. So yeah, I love that album. I hadn't listened to it until we did the review of it, but great choice. Would have been my number 1 choice easily. But my number 1 pick, the Menzingers, On the Impossible Past, their 3rd studio album on Epitaph. Huge critical acclaim. Tame's vocals are great. 13 songs, only 41 minutes. Whole album is a journey. No song overstays its welcome. It's got an amazing 93 on Metacritic, which takes all the critics' stuff and puts it together. I know they are well followed, but that's the first album of theirs I had ever heard.
Yeah, man, I'm glad you put this on. I've been a big fan of this record for a while, too. I've seen them live before. They put on a great show. I
didn't even know that.
And seeing them actually again in about a month with Touche Amore. So
who knew?
It's going to be great. I think this is their best album as well, Dad. And so many just catchy lines in here, and just kind of blending a bit of that alt rock with the pop punk sensibilities to it that just makes for a great time. And I'm with you. Tame's vocals really do drive you in.
They're fantastic. My second pick, Channel Orange by Frank Ocean. Not an easy listen. It's a long listen, but it's a really good album. It's his debut. Featured guest appearances from Earl Sweatshirt, which we have a song reaction up that your mom and I did, and Tyler, the Creator, Andre 3000, and a little guitarist makes a couple little cameos, uncredited, Mr. John Mayer. This one's 92 on Metacritic. They don't give Metacritic stuff, but unbelievable. Thinking About You, Sweet Life, Super Rich Kids, which is a song with Earl, and Pyramids, which we have a song reaction up to. Uncredited guitar to John Mayer on there, but Frank, a very talented guy, and I have a feeling he'll probably show up in future years.
Oh, definitely. I would have had this as my number 2 if you hadn't have a... Well, I might have had actually on the Impossible Path. We might have been 1, 2, 3 for me on this draft so far.
That does not happen in years, so yeah, that would have been wow.
But yeah,
we would have agreed on the top 3 albums.
Yeah, I love this record, man. And I think Frank even said like Channel Orange is almost like it's a very varied record sonically here, because I think he said it was like a TV, Like
Yep.
you're switching the channel,
You're
so
flipping
to
the
speak.
channel
So
surfing.
I thought that was cool. Pyramid's one of his best songs. A great blend of R&B and hip hop and pop, and just kind of everything in between. And it's not even his best album, man. Then we'll be coming to that in a few years. But my next pick is going to be Killer Mike's rap music, his fifth record. Killer Mike, probably best known as half of Run the Jewels. And this really is, in a way, a Run the Jewels project because his producer here is ELP. So even though he doesn't really come in and rap, it's all Killer Mike. But Killer Mike, man, one of the best MCs of this century right here. Southern hip hop beats mixed with very politically charged lyrics and memorable bars throughout its 45-minute runtime, make it one of the best, I think, hip hop albums of the decade. At the very least, check out the song Reagan, and it's one of the better songs of the decade, going against Old Ronald right there. So that's going to be my number two. Next for me, I'm going with Beach House's Bloom.
They would have made my list.
They've appeared, I think all of their records have appeared on one of our lists up to this point. This is their fourth record, went to 7 on the charts. Very dream pop, kind of revival classic. I love me some dream pop.
Me too.
Pop. The production on this is just excellent. Victoria Legrand's vocals really stand out and give these ethereal and dreamy, sonic atmospheres. And I think it's complemented though by it still has those catchy hook stat and captivating vocals. My favorites are going to be New Year, Myth, and On the Sea.
All right, my third album, these guys have appeared before for me. We got the Gaslight Anthem and Handwritten. Huge improvement for their last album, American Slang. Not quite as good as the 59 sound, which was my number one album for the year that it came out. But it does have higher highs than the 59 sound. The higher highs on this album are absolutely fantastic. Brian Fallon is firing on all cylinders. The standouts, 45, Handwritten, May, and National Anthem. But an excellent, excellent album. Now, my fourth pick, he appeared with his debut. He's going to appear with his second studio album for me, Tame Impala, Lonerism. It builds on the psychedelic sound of its predecessor, which of course was Inner Speaker. Features fewer guitars, more synths and samples. Kevin Parker attempted to incorporate his love for pop music into songwriting for the record through catchier melodies. It's more accessible. Many tracks feature ambient sounds recorded by Kevin on a dictaphone. 1 Grammy for Best Rock Album and Album of the Year, man. Whole vibe, the whole album. There's not any, and I find that with a lot of Tame's songs, right? I don't find that there's a standout song. Sometimes there's, but it's a whole soundscape.
The whole experience.
Yeah, that's
right?
what it's meant to. That's the way he puts it together. That's why he makes it the way he makes it.
Oh, definitely. And I feel, and I've seen just with people, around my age, whether they like rap or country or whatever, like Tame Impala definitely has a big, cross section.
Yeah, because it's just something totally different.
And I love the psychedelic nature of this record right here. Apocalypse Dream is probably my favorite off it, but I'm with you, Dad. I think it's really a whole album listening experience. Might be Tame Impala's best work, but we'll have to see in future drafts, right? So I got 2 picks left. I'm going with Fiona Apple, The Idler Wheel. I'm not going to say the entire.
It's long, man.
She likes those long titles right here. This went to 3 on the charts and it was 213 on Rolling Stone's most recent list of best albums ever. Some gorgeous melodies and art pop arrangements are coupled with the stellar lyricism that is associated with Fiona throughout her career. Fiona noted on this, quote, "It was very casual and it wasn't fully admitting that I was making an album. I got to use the time in the studio to inspire me to finish other things rather than feel like I was finishing homework to hand in. It wasn't a lot of pressure and the record company didn't know I was doing it, so nobody was looking over my shoulder," because she worked on this dad over a period of a few years, just kind of here and there. And I don't know, I think as an artist that could be helpful where you're not, as Fiona just said,
helpful,
under the gun, so to speak. So my favorites are Periphery, Hot Knife, and Valentine. And then my last pick here is going to be Deftones, who have appeared actually on a couple of my lists. We have Koi no Yokan. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad, but this is their 7th record. Went to 11 on the charts. It's a maturing of both lyrics, which deal with love. That's kind of the overarching topic on this record, and just all the range of emotions and trials that can bring. And it, again, shows them kind of pushing their boundaries sonically as well. We have that alt metal that's kind of that foundation of that early, White Pony era Deftones, but now we have a little punk, even some shoegaze action. The guitar on this record is fantastic. So my favorites on this are Tempest and Leathers.
Well, the key to longevity is to be able to adapt and change, right? My last pick, probably very controversial. This album is loved by some and hated by others. It's hardly an in-between. But Lana Del Rey, Born to Die, her debut, although she'd made an album 2 years before and switched up the spelling of her name, did a little bit. Lots of controversy, like I said, critics all over on it. Retrospectively, though, they go back and look at it, thought of much better. Summer Sadness is great. There's some great tunes on here. It's hit and miss. That's why it's fifth for me. It's not a consistent album, but it's a really good album. So it takes my last spot.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of old Lana.
I look forward to running her discography. All right, honorable mentions for me. Bill Fay, Life is People. Springsteen, Wrecking Ball, almost made it a tremendous album, very much a surprise. The Mountain Goats, Transcendental Youth. Matthew E. White, big enter. Justin Townes Earl, he was on one of my lists before he actually made the top 5. This one time he's honorable mention. Nothing's going to change the way you feel about me now. The Walkmen with their Last Offering, Heaven. John K. Sampson, Provincial. Paul Buchanan, Midair. He's the Blue Nile lead singer. This album's very, very chill. Cat Power, hadn't heard her around in a long time. Sun. Melodies, Echo Chamber, self-titled. I'm going to steal this one from you because this one's probably you would have had it there. But Alex G. Trick, shout out to Shane. Titus Andronicus, they were on actually high on one of my other lists, Local Business. First Aid Kit, The Lion's Roar. Winter Cohen, Old Ideas.
Yeah, and I just have a few more. I'm going to go Father John Misty's Fear Fun record.
Nope.
I'm going to go Capital Steez, American Corruption. Great MC that took his life shortly after this at a young age. But man, what a great record that is. And then Death Grips, The Money Story, the experimental hip-hop internet darlings over here. Rounding out my honorable mention. All right, Dad, 2012, all in all, I think pretty good year. As I look at our list here, we kind of touch on a lot of different genres, and even when you include the honorable mentions, I think it's quite strong.
I think this decade's been really good. 10, 11, and 12, and 13 is really good as well because I'm done without listening. So, guys, just a reminder, let us know what you think. Give us your faves below. Let us know who you think won. And I guess, Dre, that's going to do it for this year.
Yeah, we'll be back next week as we go to the year 2013. So until next time, y'all, thanks for watching. Happy listening, and we will see you.